Hi, I'm Tom Kroll. This year I made a very good decision. I joined M&S Mechanical. That's New York City's tri-state leading mechanical company. Well, today we are going to speak about the Climate Mobilization Act, also known as Local Law 97. This act is going to affect you very severely if you are a building owner or manager. I will now introduce Sal Amato, the President and CEO of M&S Mechanical. Sal?
Thank you, Tom. In April of 2019, the City Council enacted Local Law 97, the world's most aggressive legislation to reduce carbon emissions of buildings larger than 25,000 square feet. As you may know, if you manage or occupy an office building over 25,000 square feet, your building will be affected by this legislation. The local law requires buildings to reduce its carbon emissions by 80% by year ending 2050. Until then, you will need to achieve certain milestones. The first milestone is in the year 2024. Failure to file or have a plan in place by this date will result in substantial fines. Now let's talk about Local Law 97 more specifically. Here are the facts. In order to comply and avoid fines, each affected building must file a plan to reduce emissions by 40% by 2024. This plan needs to be verified by a licensed engineer or some other approved professional. By now, I'm sure you have determined your building's exposure to fines. This is based on the total square footage of your building. If not, M&S Mechanical is happy to do this for you. Your building's carbon footprint is a formula. It takes the building's total energy consumption and converts it to metric tons of carbon emissions. Based on square footage, your building is assigned a carbon limit. Should your energy consumption exceed that limit, fines will be imposed at $268 per excess metric ton. How many of you have already addressed the low-hanging fruit, like installing LED lighting, modifying your operational start and stop times, raising heating and cooling set points, installing reflective heat panels behind radiators, repairing steam leaks and steam traps, and using condensate to preheat domestic hot water? Now we must take it a step further. Let's consider your HVAC system. Have you performed retro commissioning? Are you still using R22? This refrigerant cost has skyrocketed. New replacement units use less power and are more efficient. It's time to upgrade. What about your BMS? Do you even have one? Are you still using pneumatics? Now is the time to install a BMS and start collecting on the savings while lowering your emissions. Since electric has a much lower conversion factor than oil or natural gas, the city wants you to convert your energy use to mostly electric and at the same time become more efficient in the way you use the electricity provided. How do you do this? Here are a few energy conservation measures to consider. Converting your heating system to natural gas. The use of a heat pump or a VRF system in place of your existing HVAC system. Repairing insulation on hot and cold piping. Installing VFDs on motors. Replacing those large motors on your AHUs with a fan wall. Your tenants contribute 40 to 60% of the building's total energy use. It is important to communicate to them what they need to do in their space. Start by encouraging LED lighting. After all, their consumption is now sub-metered, and even small improvements will save them money. Introduce your tenants to NYSERDA's commercial tenant program for no-cost audits to find ways to reduce their energy spend and lower the building's emissions. Legislation in place addresses the need for funding, so they establish PACE, a low-cost loan program for building owners to perform needed conservation measures. Local Law 97 is just the beginning of the city's effort to reduce carbon emissions. At M&S Mechanical, we are uniquely positioned to guide you through compliance, avoid costly fines, and optimize your building's operation. We will work closely with your portfolio and property managers to reduce, upgrade, and maintain HVAC and mechanical systems. M&S Mechanical, with over 50 years of experience, is staffed with professionals that will provide insight and guidance on all HVAC and mechanical applications. This is Sal Amato of M&S Mechanical. I want to thank you for watching M&S Mechanical's first of many podcasts on the mechanical side of our business in the New York Metro and surrounding states. For additional trending information and insight into the HVAC and mechanical business, follow M&S Mechanical on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and LinkedIn. Thank you for watching M&S Mechanical's podcast. Have a great week.